Should I start, ma'am?
Yes, madam, you can start.
Good morning to one and all. Welcome back to Online Education Channel by BMC. This is Vaijayanti Patil from Turbe MPS. Today we will be dealing with useful and harmful microbes, part 4. Students, in our last class, we have studied about the harmful bacteria known as Clostridium, which is responsible for causing food poisoning. Okay, there are around hundreds of varieties of this bacteria. This is especially responsible for food poisoning. Some of them are found in the atmosphere. They are known as free-living microbes or free-living bacteria, while some of them are also present in the body of organism, like in the alimentary canal of humans or the other animals. And they are called as dependent microbes. Now, these are basically rod-shaped bacteria, as you can see in the images. But when there are unfavorable conditions, they produce bottle-shaped endospores. What is meaning of adverse condition is when the environment is not favorable for multiplication of this bacteria, that is for their reproduction, when there is lack of food availability or the other conditions that are needed for reproduction and multiplication of this organism. In such conditions, they produce the endospores, which are bottle shaped. The most important characteristics of this bacteria, which helps us to prevent ourselves from this bacteria, is under the normal availability of oxygen, these bacteria cannot survive. Okay, they cannot withstand the normal oxygen levels because they are anaerobic bacteria. They can grow, multiply only in anaerobic conditions. So if the environment is properly oxygenated, multiplication of these bacteria can be prohibited. Now, do you think that only Clostridium bacteria causes illness? No. You must have noticed there are many organisms which are capable of causing disease. Some of them may be fungi, some of them may be protozoas, as in case of malaria. Some of them may be bacteria, like Streptococcus bacteria, which are responsible for throat infection. Then there may be viruses like coronavirus. Let us study about the other organisms today in detail. Okay. You have learned about the viruses. These are very smaller organisms, smaller even than the bacteria. They cannot survive without the body of host. That is, they require a living host. Outside the body of the host organism, they behave like non-living thing. But as soon as they get the entry into the living host, which may be bird, which may be insect, or which may be humans or other animals, they begin to multiply and behave like the living organism. Now, how do they do all these things? A lot of research is going on the study of these microorganisms, because when there is a sudden outbreak of a particular kind of disease and the medicines or the vaccinations are not available, lot of trouble is caused. As we have seen now in the pandemic of coronavirus, entire world was under the lockdown. All the industries were stopped. Everything was stopped. Even now the schools are not open. Okay. So it hampers the productivity of the country if there is the outbreak of any kind of disease. So a lot of research is going on. We will discuss about two scientists about this. Initially, it was believed that meat gets spoiled due to some of the bacteria. But exactly which bacteria is responsible for spoiling of the meat was unknown. But it was studied by Mr. Van Ermegen, who was the scientist who studied about the anaerobic bacteria, and he proved that the variety of Clostridium botulinum is responsible for causing the food poisoning or the rottening of the meat. Then this is the other scientist, Ada Bankston, who was studying in the biochemistry department of Chicago University. She was studying about the gas gangrene, that is the gangrene which affects most of the diabetic people, and the antitoxin, that is the antidote for that gangrene, how that gangrene can be treated. But while carrying out her research, she herself was infected by a dreadful disease called as typhus. Somehow she overcame this infection, she got well, and she continued her research. Even after falling ill and suffering the miseries of typhus, she continued her research in the field of medicine, and hence she was awarded typhus medal in year 1947. So remember these two scientists, Van Ermengem and Ada Bankston. Now we are going to study about the different microorganisms causing different diseases. We will be enlisting few diseases. First is AIDS. It is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. Okay, full form of AIDS is acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by a virus known as HIV virus, human immunodeficiency virus is the name of that virus. This is the picture of the virus, how it looks. It enters into the living cell and start making the proteins that are essential for its own development. As it enters within the body of the host, it will overtake all the cellular machineries that are essential for synthesis of proteins and start developing the proteins that are essential for its own multiplication. Because of which the person who is infected by HIV virus starts getting weaker because his body or her body is now generating the proteins required by the viruses, and slowly the immunity of the person starts deteriorating. As this virus affects the immune system of the person becomes susceptible to the different types of diseases. Even minor flu can cause a major problem in the person suffering from AIDS. Now, what are the modes of infection? This virus can enter in the body of a person through the blood, through the semen of the infected person, or through the milk of mother suffering from AIDS, or through the sharp metal objects which are having blood infected by the person having AIDS. Okay, so sharing injectable drugs, unprotected sex, needle stick injury, or from mother to child are the modes of transmission of these diseases. Keeping in mind the modes of transmission, the preventive measures can be carried out. There should be always safe sexual contacts. Avoid the uses or reuses of needles and injections. Then, during blood transfusion or any injuries, due care has to be taken that there is no blood contact within the two persons. Next is hepatitis. Now, what is hepatitis? It is a kind of disease, viral infection, which affects the liver of the organism. This is the structure of hepatitis virus. As it enters within the bloodstream of the host, it starts affecting the liver. So the capacity of the liver to convert the sugars or to store it is reduced, because of which a person starts feeling weak, vomiting, and the other conditions. Now, how does this spread? The mode of infection is through contaminated water and food. As it is transmitted through the contaminated water and food, it is very essential to have clean and filtered water. It is better to have boiled water and proper storage of food. Beside this, proper hygienic conditions should be maintained so that the disease does not spread. Then the next disease is influenza, which is also known as flu. This is also caused by the virus. How this spread? It spreads to the close extremities or in the crowded place by sharing the surfaces. See, if anyone is having the fever or sneezing or coughing, the droplets fall on the surfaces. If there is sharing of the surfaces, the virus might enter into the body. And even the poor hygiene, improper hygiene at the house and the areas of work also may lead to the infection of influenza. So basically, the mode of infection is contact with the infected person or with the infected surface. Remember, what are the preventive measures? While sneezing or coughing, one should always cover his face or nose. Whatever is used for cleaning the nose or mouth should be immediately disposed properly. Proper rest should be taken and medication has to be taken so that it can be cured as early as possible. Washing our hands before and after eating the food and after the several period of times. Proper hygiene and social distancing is very much essential for preventive measure of influenza. So remember, personal hygiene, social distancing, or avoiding the contact with infected person. The next disease is measles and chicken pox. This is again a viral disease. Now, how can you identify the chicken pox or the measles? You can see these small boils on the body, all over the body, on particular part or on all over the body. And these boils are water filled. They are filled with water. Such condition is known as measles or chickenpox. It is again a viral disease. It is caught or the infection is sprayed to the contact with the infected person. So, in the previous days, the person who was suffering from measles or chickenpox was isolated or quarantined. These people were kept in a particular room, as we are isolating or quarantining the people who are getting the virus, coronavirus. Similarly, such people who were infected from the diseases which can spread easily through the contact, they need to be isolated for few days, quarantined for few days, so that the infection do not spread. Proper care has to be taken of these people. Proper medicines, proper light food, fruits has to be provided so that the immunity keeps up. Now, what are the preventive measures? You have to cook the food properly, keep it covered. Water, boiled water has to be consumed. Vaccinations are available for this, which are given since the childhood. You must have noticed whenever there is a baby born in any house, there is a chart given by the doctors for vaccination at regular age period of the child. So, proper vaccinations should be given so that the child does not suffer from this disease. Okay. Next is bird flu and swine flu. Now, this bird flu is caused by the virus H7N9 and swine flu is caused by H1N1 virus. So, the pathogen is, of course, a virus. If you remember, there was an outbreak of swine flu and bird flu recently, few years back. How does it spread? There are two main reservoirs for this disease. One is the avian reservoir, meaning the viruses are present within the body of the birds or in the human. How it is transferred from the bird to the humans? So it is transferred via the food or through the air. If you come in close contact with the infected animals, okay, or if you consume the uncooked meat of the animal or the bird, the infection might spread from one to other. Okay. So, mode of infection is contact with infected bird and animal. Preventive measure, of course, maintenance of proper hygiene. Vaccines are available for this flu now. So, proper vaccination is to be taken. Then the food has to be properly cooked, because through the uncooked food also this virus can spread. Hence, the food should be properly cooked, and if possible, water should also be boiled and taken. And maintenance of personal hygiene. So, to prevent yourself from getting bird flu or swine flu, you need to maintain proper hygiene, consume properly cooked meat, and avoid the contact with the infected birds, animals, or even the infected person. Now, these were all the viral infections. Now, let us move to the next disease, that is dengue. This is also a viral disease, but in this case, the virus is not directly entering into the organism, but it is via a vector, which is a mosquito. The person can caught dengue only if the mosquito bites the person. So remember this, dengue spreads to mosquito bite. Now, as mosquito is the important agent for transferring this dengue disease, due care has to be taken that the surrounding is kept clean. There should be no centers kept for or no place kept for the mosquitoes to breed. Like if there is stagnant water in the vase or in the pot, it needs to be cleaned timely. If there is dirt all around where the mosquitoes proliferate, that needs to be cleaned and fumigated at proper time. Okay. Second thing, even if the surrounding is clean and there are mosquitoes, then we should wear full sleeve cloths so that mosquitoes won't bite. Use of mosquito repellents should be done like Odomos or Good Night. Okay. Then, or if a person is allergic for this, the fragrance of the mosquito repellents, use of mosquito nets can also be done so that mosquito bites does not take place. It is also important, if any person is suffering from disease like dengue, they should be kept within the net. Their bed should be enclosed by the net when they are taking rest and the proper treatment is completed. Now, why this is to be done? If that person is properly quarantined within the net till the treatment is completed, the spread of the disease can be avoided. Because as the person will sleep in the net, the mosquito won't bite it, and hence it will not spread to the other people. And the fumigation has to be done. If you report it to the municipal corporations, they send the person for fumigation of the area where the dengue patient is available. So that care has to be taken. Cleanliness of the surrounding, preventing stagnation of water, and control of mosquitoes. Now the next disease is pneumonia. Now we are entering into the bacterial diseases. Okay. Pneumonia is caused, actually, this is a disease which is caused by several reasons, but major reason is bacteria. This bacteria affects the lungs of the person. The lungs are affected and it starts the thick secretions, because of which the alveoli sac, that are the air sacs present in the lungs, they become stiff. They cannot relax and contract as we respire, because of which a person may suffer from shortness of breath, as well as due to the stagnation of these alveoli by the cough or the mucus, the person starts coughing. Okay. This in this case, the cough might also accumulated in the different parts of the body, affecting the mentality of the person. Okay. How it is spread? Through the droplets while coughing and sneezing. If the person who is suffering from pneumonia does not cover his face or nose while coughing and sneezing, the droplets that are falling out of his nose or mouth, which are falling on the surfaces of different places, and whoever touches that surface might caught this disease. Hence, it is very, very essential to maintain personal hygiene. Remember always to wash your hands properly before you eat anything, you drink anything, and even avoid continuous or frequent contact touching your face or nose with your hands, because if there are viruses or bacteria on the surfaces, they might enter in your body. Okay, so what are the preventive measures? See, I've told you, washing the hands. The person who are suffering from cough and cold should cover their mouth while sneezing and coughing. Proper sanitization of the hands at regular intervals, and seek the help from the doctors, because pneumonia is a bacterial disease. It needs the antibiotics to be cured. So that will be suggested by the doctor. Nowadays, vaccination is also available for pneumonia, which is given right from the smaller age, that is from after 2 months of the birth, and that can prevent a child from contracting the pneumonia in his future life. Okay. Next is leprosy. You must have heard about leprosy. It is also called as disease of untouchability, where if the person is suffering from leprosy, the people avoid touching them. In the olden days, those people who were suffering from leprosy, they were removed out from the society, from wherever the village or the place where he stays. He was removed because it was believed that it spreads rapidly through the contact or through the touch. If you notice this image, you can see this bacteria actually damages the uh, structure of the part of the body where which is infected. It might be the face, the entire nostril might be destroyed, the eyebrows might be destroyed, ears might be infected. If it is infected in the hand or the legs, the entire finger starts degenerating because of this disease. So it is a degenerative disease. It causes degeneration of the organ where the infection is caused. It is a bacterial disease. Mode of infection is long-term contact with the infection person. Nowadays, treatment over this disease is also available. So leprosy is a curable disease. For that, supportive care has to be given to the patient, proper rest, proper diet, and a proper treatment from the doctor needs to be taken so that the person can overcome this disease. Remember, as soon as the signs of the disease is seen, immediately you need to meet a doctor so that the hazards that would be caused later on can be avoided, because this is a degenerative disease which might cause degeneration of certain organs or parts of your body. As you can see here, how the face of this person is affected. See the nose and the mouth part, the eyebrows. It is very badly affecting the body if not cured at proper time. So as soon as these symptoms are noticed, proper doctor help has to be taken, and proper diet and supportive care can help the person suffering from leprosy to recover, and this person can live a normal life. You must have heard about Baba Amte, Prakash Amte. These are the reformer social workers who, especially Baba Amte, who worked on the treatment of the person suffering from leprosy. He was very touched when he noticed that the persons who are suffering from leprosy are removed from the society, and hence he set up an organization where he brought the persons who were suffering from the leprosy, and he himself started treating those persons and helped them recover and lead a normal life. Now there are many centers which are started by these Prakash Amte and Baba Amte for curing the person who are suffering from leprosy. Now the next disease is cholera. Once this was also a pandemic, it is again a bacterial disease which spreads through contaminated food and water. In older days, what happened? People used to go to the water reservoir which is nearby. They used to wash utensils, wash the animals, wash the vehicles. Everything was done in the water reservoir that is available in the nearby vicinity. It might be lake, it might be pond, or the rivers. Because of which, and the same water was used for drinking also. So the contamination used to spread easily. Okay. It is caused by a bacteria known as Vibrio cholerae. It spreads to poor hygienic conditions as well as contaminated food and water. So, remembering the points of modes of infection, the preventive measures are: you should always consume properly cooked food, boiled water, and wash your hands at regular interval. So, maintain personal hygiene. Clean food and water for consumption is very much essential to prevent oneself from causing illness. Now, the next disease is malaria. This is very common. Every year there are thousands of patients coming out for malaria. We all know that it spreads through the mosquito bites, but it is not a disease caused by the mosquito, but it is by the protozoa. So the pathogen for malaria is actually a protozoa which multiplies within the gut of the mosquito, and hence when mosquito bites, it is transferred to the human host. So mode of infection is mosquito bites. Of course, as mosquito bite causes this or spreads this disease, the preventive measure is to keep the surrounding clean, to keep the areas where the mosquitoes can breed. The breeding ground of the mosquitoes need to be cleared with proper fumigation and eradication of the stagnant water, use of full-sleeved clothes, use of the mosquito repellents or the mosquito nets through which the mosquito bites can be avoided. Okay. So this is how one can prevent yourself from causing malaria. And once the patient is detected, he also needs to be properly quarantined till the entire treatment is completed so that the disease do not spread. It may lead to weakness in the person, so proper rest is also to be taken by the person so that the body recovers rapidly from this. Proper healthy diet which will help eradicate this protozoa from the body at the faster rate. Antibiotics has to be taken, which is prescribed by the doctor. So as soon as you have continuous, especially now, what is the symptom of the malaria? You get cyclic fever. Now, what is meaning of cyclic fever? The temperature of the body rises up at the regular intervals. Okay, that is, in the morning you might get the fever, then again you will feel better. In the evening again the body temperature might rise. So there is a cyclic pattern of the fever in case of malaria. Then there are body pain, severe headache may occur in the person. So in that case, you need to do the blood test suggested by the doctor and take the medications that is given by the doctor. Always remember to take a proper healthy diet so that body does not become weak and it fights back this disease. Even if you take medicines, you need to supply proper nutrients to the body so that the body will recover at the faster rate. The next disease is, as you can see in the picture, dandruff, ringworm, and the scabies. See, in all the three cases, the symptoms are different. In dandruff, especially in the hairs, the fungal hyphae, dry powder is seen which falls off on the shoulder. In case of ringworm, the ring is formed by the fungus that is known as ringworm. It is actually a fungal infection. And in case of scabies, you start getting such type of boils, rashes and the boils on the entire body. This is caused by fungus. Now, mode of infection is when you share the things, like in case of dandruff, if you share the comb with the person and the person is suffering from the dandruff, even if few molecules of the dandruffs are transferred on your scalp, the fungal growth will begin. Okay. In case of ringworms, if you are sharing the clothes with the person who is suffering, in that case, the ringworms might spread. Even in the case of scabies, it is same. So whenever there is a person who is suffering from ringworms or scabies especially, the clothes of this person has to be washed separately in the lukewarm water and with some kind of disinfectant like Dettol or soap, so that the fungus does not proliferate and infect the other person in the house. As I said, that this infection spreads from one person to the other person by sharing the clothes, the sports equipments, the combs or the towels of the persons who are infected by the fungal infection. The preventive measures are, you should maintain proper hygiene so that the fungal growth on your body does not take place. Regular washing of your hairs within 2 days so that the dandruff does not proliferate. Then stop or avoid sharing the clothes, shoes, sandals, towels, combs, or any of the other items like sport equipments with your friends or the even your brothers and sisters, in that case, if they are suffering from the fungal infection. Even if you have pets at house, you need to clean those pets at regular intervals because this fungal growth is also seen on their body as we are suffering. Then if the animal is caught with the infection of such fungal diseases, proper treatment has to be given to the pet or animals also, and person should avoid contact with the animals who are suffering from this infection. So proper hygiene and avoiding the contact with infected person, and also avoiding the sharing of the belongings or the clothes of the suffering person. Now, let us recap what we have studied today. We have studied 6 viral diseases. The first was AIDS, which is also known as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. It is caused by a virus called human immunodeficiency virus or HIV virus. It spreads through blood, semen of infected person, or even from the milk of the suffering mother. To prevent the spread of this disease, it is very essential to have safe sexual contact and avoid the uses of needles and injections which are used again and again. Second disease is hepatitis, which is also known as Kavil or Pilia. Okay, there are different types of hepatitis A, B, D. It is also a viral disease which spreads through contaminated water and food. Hence, for preventing yourself from getting hepatitis, it is very essential to consume clean and filtered or boiled water and proper storage of food as well as water so that it does not get contaminated. Next is influenza, which is caused by the influenza virus that is known as rhinovirus. Mode of infection is through the contact of infected person. So the preventive measure is proper hygiene to avoid the contact of the infected person, maintain social distancing, use of mask or use of handkerchief to cover the mouth or face while sneezing and coughing, so that if even we are suffering, we do not spread it to the other. And if there is any person who is infected, avoid going in the close extremities of that person. What we are following just now, social distancing. Then measles and chicken pox, in which boils, very minute boils are developed on the body which are water filled. This is again a viral disease which is on the accelerated point during the summer seasons. Okay, it spreads through the contact with the infected person. So those who have developed these measles or chicken pox need to be quarantined. Vaccination at the earlier ages of life is very essential for preventing from measles and chicken pox. See, if the vaccination is given, the child very rarely develops measles and chicken pox. Some people may cure on themselves, but if they are not able to cure, this disease can also be deadful. Hence, proper diet has to be taken, proper hygiene has to be maintained, physical hygiene of the person has to be maintained, clean and boiled water and clean food has to be consumed so that this disease can be avoided. Next is swine flu and bird flu, which is caused by the virus. Bird flu is caused by virus H7N9. Swine flu is caused by H1N1. It also spread through the contact with the birds, infected birds or animals, or even the humans. So, personal hygiene has to be maintained. Whatever food is consumed, it has to be properly cooked, because proper boiling and cooking of the food kills these viruses and make it disable for causing the disease. The next is dengue. Dengue is also a viral disease, but it spreads through mosquito bites. It does not spread to the contact with the person, but through the mosquito bites. So it is very essential to prevent this disease. You should prevent yourself from mosquito bites. This can be done by cleaning our surrounding, by destroying the stagnant water, and release of guppy fishes in the ponds or the water reservoirs nearby, because mosquitoes usually proliferate on the water that is accumulated, and proper fumigation at regular intervals, wearing full sleeves cloth or mosquito repellents like Good Night, Odomos, or using mosquito nets that can avoid the mosquito, help you to avoid the mosquito bites. Then the next is the bacterial disease, that is pneumonia, in which the person infected will develop cough, and while coughing or sneezing, if the droplets falls on the surfaces and the healthy person who comes in contact with this person or the infected surfaces might get infected too. Hence, proper personal hygiene and social distancing from the infected person are the important tools to prevent oneself from the disease, and vaccines are also available which can be given to prevent from developing pneumonia. Next is leprosy, which is again a bacterial disease. As I have shown you, this is a degenerative disease which will cause degeneration of the part where infection is caused. If the hand is infected, the muscles, the bones, entire start degenerating. Okay. So, if recognized, it has to be taken to the doctor immediately, because medication is available and this is a curable disease. So if proper medication is taken, as soon as it is detected, it can be regularized and the person who is suffering can lead a normal life through proper medication. To prevent oneself from this, it is very essential to avoid the contact with the infected person and their belongings. Next is cholera. It is again a bacterial disease which spreads through contaminated food and water. So, to prevent this disease, it is very essential to consume properly cooked food which is kept covered and well filtered or boiled water, so that this disease does not spread. Next is malaria, which is a protozoan disease which spreads through mosquito bites. To avoid the mosquito bites, same as dengue, the surrounding needs to be clean. The stagnant water needs to be destroyed or removed, or even the fishes like guppy fishes or guramis can be released in the water reservoirs nearby so that there are no mosquitoes. And mosquito controlling agents like mosquito repellents, mosquito nets, or full sleeve cloths has to be used so that mosquito bites can be avoided. Last disease is a fungal disease which may be dandruff, ringworm, or scabies. All these three are the different diseases, but the pathogen is common, that is fungi. Okay, it spreads through the use of the belongings of the infected person. So it is very essential not to share the objects of the infected person. Any objects like combs, clothes, shoes, sports equipment, towel should never be shared, because if the other person is suffering from this type of fungal infection, you might also get this, and hence always prevent or avoid using the or sharing of the objects of the infected person. This is how you can prevent yourself from getting this disease. So if we see overall for all the diseases, what is important is you should maintain a proper personal hygiene, proper cleaning of your body, washing the hands at regular intervals, sanitization, then maintaining social distancing from the infected person, then covering your face or nose while sneezing or coughing so that even others are not suffering. Then you should always drink boiled or clean filtered water, consume healthy food which is properly cooked or washed. If you are eating fruits, it has to be washed properly so that any kind of viruses or bacteria does not enter in your body. See, children, always avoid consumption of junk food because it makes your body weak. Consume healthy diet which will help your body to develop good immunity against this disease causing agent. What we have studied and what was focused throughout this period of lockdown, it was only focused that you have to eat proper healthy diet, proper personal hygiene, cleanliness in the surrounding, as well as social distancing. So always practice these things so that none of the disease causing agent can infect you. If at all you are infected, if you are consuming proper diet, following personal hygiene, then you will be easily recovering through these diseases. Hence, proper immunity is very, very essential. So, thank you, students, for listening to this lecture quietly.